Hello everyone, Deb Floros, guest designer for Beadaholique. I've got these amazing prestige 4mm Bicone Guilty Pleasure crystals. They are absolutely spectacular and they just remind me of shades of coffee or espresso, like a light espresso. And so I've got them in my little cup. And I've got these beautiful check glass beads that are John bead. They're 6mm rounds in bronze, also very coffee-ish. I've got this 1G that's also a very neutral tone, and I'm putting those other beads in a little espresso cup as well. So I'm going to make some fun beaded bead earrings. I think these two pieces look so beautiful together. So I'm bringing out the bead mat and I'm going to pull off about 12 inches of 1G. This is hard to see, so my apologies, but you'll trust me, it's about 12 inches, and I've got a tulip needle that I'm threading after I tie a couple of little knots at the end of my thread. It's not critical to tie the knot except for the fact that if you pull your thread up, you won't lose the beads off the bottom. I'm flattening out the other end of my thread, and then I am threading the needle by the needle the thread method. It takes a little bit of patience, but I've got that little guy threaded, and I do have spooky season nail polish on. Sorry about that. It might be a little distracting. So I'm going to pick 4 of the darkest beads first, and I'm kind of taking a little bit of an ombre effect with the beaded beads. So I'm starting with 4 bicones and just stringing them on with the needle, and then I'm taking the needle and going back through all of the beads from the knot end. And I'm pulling that through and pulling the thread tight, and those bicones will go into kind of a little square. And this is probably the simplest beaded bead that you can make. So you're going to bring the thread all the way around back through the beads about 2 or 3 times. I like 3 times. That makes the bead nice and secure. And you'll just go through 1 bead at a time. It's really hard with the way that these beads connect with each other to put the needle through more than 1 bead at a time, but it's super fast and easy to do. So just put those through the thread through each of those beads and pull nice and tight to get the beads secured. And I'm just going around and around 3 times, and you want to get back to where your tail is. Now, whether the knot is right there or just a piece of thread, you have a little bit of an opportunity to go through that thread bridge, which I recommend putting your needle through the thread bridge and tying a knot. Then you can safely snip off and leave a little tail and burn it down with a thread burner. Now I'm going to make another one with the next darkest color, which is kind of a darker orangey sort of coffee tone with a lot of cream. And I'm just doing the same thing, threading on 4 of the beads and then going through 1 bead at a time all the way around about 3 times. Then I'm going to go through the thread bridge and tie a little bit of a knot at the end of the 3 passes through the beads. And I love how these come together just so easily and nicely. They look really beautiful in that little sort of square or circle of beads, depending on how you look at it. So I'm tightening up my knot. I've got my thread burner. I'm going to burn down the ends and make sure that I've got a nice secure bead. Now I'm going to go to the next lightest color, which is kind of a really light colored tea almost. So if you don't like coffee, maybe you like tea. And I'm going to put the needle through all of the beads about 3 times, then go through that thread bridge again, and then I can cut off my excess and burn down the ends. And I just think these beads are so incredibly beautiful. This prestige bicone mix is stunning, and they do come in other color blends. So here I am burning down the ends, and I've got now 3 beaded beads. Now there is one more color of bead in the mix, and it's a clear. So I look at this as kind of the sugar in the coffee. So these are stunning. I mean, these are just absolutely gorgeous beads. So I'm going to go back around to the knot end and go through all of the beads, and then I'm going to pull that little shape into place. And I'm going to hold on to those beads and give it a nice tug. Then I'm going to go around the beads about 3 times. You could probably do one more pass, or you could get away with 2 passes. I like 3. That seems to be just right for this application. Burning down those ends, and then I've got my last little beaded bead. And I love all of these together. The colors are just like various shades of coffee. Now I've got a long flat end head pin, and I'm just going to put on a pearl and all 4 of the beaded beads in color order. So darkest to lightest. You could go lightest to darkest. And then another one of those check pearls up top, and I'm going to wire wrap a loop up top. And these look so beautiful, so incredibly shiny and sparkly. And I'm just going to attach them to some simple ear wires, close the ear wires up. And I've got these sort of coffee-inspired earrings. They're gorgeous. You can find all of these beautiful beads at beadaholique.com. I hope you'll give them a try. Thanks so much for watching.